The ego. What is it? Where does it come from? How does it operate? So the ego, the heart, and willpower, all of these actually come from the same source. They come from what we call the heart center. You could call it the ego center as well. It is one of our 9 energy centers. So if you look at our chart for today, you'll see that we have somebody with a defined ego. You see that we're looking at this 2644, channel of a transmitter. This is quite a communicating channel in the sense that it may not be connected to the throat. However, it links the existential survival awareness and the heart and the ego. So if we're really looking at the ego here, and this is what I want to drill into, is this center, exactly what it is and what it's doing. So when undefined, the heart center results in a mind that does not have a consistent sense of self-worth. This is one of the most common undefined centers. About 70% of the population has an undefined heart. So when it comes to matters of individual willpower or self-worth, they do not have a consistent and regular method of operating. This is just biology, the way in which someone was born. You see, some of us are born with a defined ego. And when you have this definition within the heart center, it means that you're not concerned with your self-worth, most likely. For most people with a defined heart, we have a sense of understanding within ourselves what we are, just from that egoic level. For you see, if we get down to the base, ego is actually one of our 5 dimensions that the entire reality is built from on a sub-quantum level. But we don't need to get into all that. We want to look at the surface where things are practical, that I can communicate something to you that can hold value. And so, for me personally, I have a defined heart like this person right here. And so it means that when I'm interacting with people who have an undefined heart, they are being conditioned by my ego because they have receptors within their heart center for what I release, for what I emit. And they can respond to that in whatever way they choose. You see, the biggest difference between the true self and the not self is that in the true self, what is defined is making decisions in life. What is regular is running the life. What is consistent is making decisions, It's pretty easy to understand how that works, Life is reliable. It's understandable. Things make sense. You're in the right place, at the right time, with the right people, having a good time. But when the not self is running your life, when the mind is allowed to make decisions for you, this is a totally different world. For you see, when that openness is making decisions for the definition, we run into all kinds of problems, all kinds of challenges. There's no way of really knowing the exact nuance of what kind of a challenge someone will run into. There are just so many variables involved. But we can look into the fundamental themes of what's going on and get in touch and recognize with our own eyes a bigger picture. And so when you find a defined heart and an undefined heart interacting with each other, that undefined heart might feel the need to prove its worth to the defined heart, or to prove its worth to other people over the defined heart in rejection to that person for their qualities. You see, we are all unique manifestations of this genetic creativity. And in honoring that potential, we can live the unique life. No one ever has been you. No one could ever be you except for the single person you are. And I know, as a healthy, happy ego, that I hope you're having a great time.